Hi, I'm Bob Hill. I'm the president of the Church of Scientology Mission of Riverdale at 308 Broadview Avenue in Toronto. This is the 24th sermon we've done online since the coronavirus. The topic of today's sermon is how to resolve conflict and create peace. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Creating peace is something that we would all like to happen for the simple fact you could relax a bit. Scientology is a practical religion. It teaches a person how to know. That's what the word Scientology means, knowing how to know. What causes some conflicts to go on and on and on without resolution? Would you like to know how to create peace in your world? Today's sermon is based on the information from the Scientology Handbook, Chapter 8, How to Resolve Conflict. It's written by L. Ron Hubbard, who explains violence and conflicts amongst individuals and nations have been with us for ages, and their causes have remained a complete mystery. A mystery finally solved in Scientology. A natural law was discovered, unguessed, deadly, unknown, and embracing all activities. Would you like to know what that law is and how to use the law to create peace? It's called the third party law. A third party must be present and unknown in every quarrel for a conflict to exist or for a conflict to occur, and an unknown third party must be active in producing it between two potential opponents, or, while it is commonly believed to take two to make a fight, a third party must exist and must develop it for actual conflict to occur. You got that? Very good. It's very easy to see that two in conflict are fighting. They are very visible. What is harder to see or suspect is that a third party existed and actively promoted the quarrel. That's the tough one. The hidden third party, seeming at times to be a supporter of only one side, is found to be as the instigator. This is a useful law in many areas of life. It is the cause of war. Do you know someone who is in constant battle with someone else? Is there a third party behind the scenes encouraging the fight to continue? In marital quarrels, the correct approach of anyone counseling is to get both parties to carefully search out the third party. They may come to many reasons at first. Reasons could be, he drinks too much, she's lazy, he's mean, she's mean, etc. These reasons are not beings, they're not people. One is looking for a third party, an actual being. When both find the third party and establish proof, that will be the end of the quarrel. How can peace be created? Two nations at each other's throats, each seek conference with the other to sift out and locate the actions of the third party. Marriages can be saved by both parties really sorting out who caused the conflicts. There may have been, in the whole history of the marriage, several, but only one at a time. Rioters and governments alike could be brought back to agreement could one get representatives of both to give each other what they have been told by whom. Such conferences have tended to deal in recriminations. That means accusing someone in return, or conditions or abuses. They must deal in beings only in order to succeed. This theory might be thought to assert or state there are no bad conditions. There are, but these are usually remediable by conference unless a third party is promoting the conflict. You got it? Good. Let's have an example. Someone has a bad working condition, a conflict with their boss. They meet to discuss and work out a solution. A third party wants the company to go bankrupt and tells the worker more bad stories about the boss, and conflict continues. If you have a battle going on with someone, try to talk to that person and locate who is promoting the conflict, and you will create peace. There's more data to follow about third party after I've read you the creed, okay? We'll do the creed now. We of the church believe that all men of whatever race, color, or creed were created with equal rights. That all men have inalienable rights to their own religious practices and their performance. That all men have inalienable rights to their own lives. That all men have inalienable rights to their sanity. That all men have inalienable rights to their own defense. That all men have inalienable rights to conceive, choose, assist, or support their own organizations, churches, and governments. That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others. That all men have the inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind. That the souls of men have the rights of men. That the study of the mind and the healing of mentally caused ills should not be alienated from religion or condoned in non-religious fields, and that no agency less than God has the power to suspend or set aside these rights overtly or covertly. And we of the church believe that man is basically good, that he is seeking to survive, that his survival depends upon himself and upon his fellows in his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe that the laws of God forbid man to destroy his own kind, to destroy the sanity of another, to destroy or enslave another's soul, to destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group. And we of the church believe that the spirit can be saved, and that the spirit alone may save or heal the body. Okay? You know, every time I read that creed, or every time I go over the creed, I find it refreshing, because it gives you such freedom that if you operate with those datums, basically nothing could harm you, because you would be willing to allow others to do things. You would be willing to allow yourself to do things. You would think for yourself. And with that brings freedom, and it brings personal freedom. So keep that in mind when you listen to the creed, because it's such a well-written, and it can apply to any group, it can apply to any religion, it can apply to any ideology. Anything could follow that creed. Okay? Great. Now, a further discovery in the use of the third-party law was the importance of spotting and not acting upon false reports. You got it? So when you're doing this with third party, you can't act on false reports. By definition, a third party is one who, by false reports, creates trouble between two people, a person and a group, or a group and another group. So by spreading false data, they create these problems. False reports are written or spoken statements which turn out to be groundless. They're not based on fact, or deceitful. That means they're designed to trick or fool, or which knowingly contain lies. Okay? Example of this would be in World War II, when one country spread lies about another country to make it all right to invade them and to slaughter innocent people. This shows how third party can be deadly. What can you do to prevent acting on false reports and spreading third party? The basis of all really troublesome third party activities is then false reports. There can also be false perceptions. One sees things that don't exist and reports them as fact. So you could just try and observe, try and see what you see. Don't see what you think you see, but actually see what's in front of you. Act on true data. Don't act on false reports. Actually look for yourself and verify the data before you make a decision. On being presented with an accusation or evidence, a person in charge of some activities should conduct an investigation of false reports and false perceptions. In this way, one can verify such reports and arrive at the true source of the trouble and avoid disciplining individuals that may be innocent. That's pretty far-reaching, because that would force everyone to look at things and observe, as opposed to reacting or just basing it on what they think it should be. So, you have a few tools you can use. One, when you have a conflict, ask for conference, speak with the person you are in conflict with, and work to locate the hidden third party. 2, don't accept false reports and false perceptions. Look for yourself and make your decision based on true facts. By doing these simple actions, you can help to create peace in your world. Now, your world just happens to be my world as well. So let's try and do this, okay? Great. I will now read to you the prayer for total freedom. May the author of the universe enable all men to reach an understanding of their spiritual nature. May awareness and understanding of life expand so that all may come to know the author of the universe, and may others also reach this understanding, which brings total freedom. At this time, we think of those whose liberty is threatened, of those who have suffered imprisonment for their beliefs, of those who are enslaved or martyred, and for all those who are brutalized, trapped, or attacked. We pray that human rights will be preserved, so that all people may believe and worship freely, so that freedom will once again be seen in our land. Freedom from war and poverty and want, freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to have. Freedom to use and understand man's potential, a potential that is God-given and God-like, and freedom to achieve that understanding and awareness that is total freedom. May God let it be so. The Scientology handbook and booklets and videos with details on how to stay well are also available online. Join us next Sunday for more ways to improve your life. Okay? Thank you.